connect, serve, and grow is what you can expect at the House of Reconciliation. Leadership, community, education, wellness, and participation is part of our plan for your spiritual growth and success. Family and faith is a core value for the House of Reconciliation, working to help people find their purpose. Want to make an impact in the kingdom? Ready to tap into your future? Meet us at the House Sundays with Pastor Reginald Campbell. www.houseofreconciliation.org.
I am the seed, that grows, and advances, the kingdom for soul winning. This word, bread of life, that I receive today. It's not only for me, but to be shared with others, that they may grow in Christ, as well as myself, for the purpose of successful living. Thank you. I want to welcome all of you and those that are joining us here in person at 1427 Sweet Launch Road, also to those that are part of the Mother Campus, and of course to the growth and the phenomenal virtual campus that we have, and all of our global connections. I'm excited on Wednesday for this month. It was asked if I would teach more in a financial realm to help people. And it's really strange that the last 3 days, that's all I've done is sit down with bankers and lawyers and and navigate and learn. So this is going to be what I call a discovery. All right? So it's not personal, but some things may come across, some of the things that you're dealing with or you have dealt with. And so feel free to ask questions. I think we have mics. The topic that I chose, because I was trying to find an inroad to generations that don't understand discipline, the words discipline, structure, order, infrastructure, money, coffers, all these various things. And so the term came back, lettuce. So for those that are writing, that are in that group, that generation, lettuce is your money. Cabbage is your investment. So the question becomes, who's eating your lettuce? Because you can't have cabbage if you first don't have lettuce. Now let's take this a little step further. First of all, where does cabbage come from? Are y'all going to have to Google that? Yes, where does lettuce come from? Now you can use your phone. Lettuce. Okay, where does lettuce come from? Okay, so where does cabbage come from? Okay, so now here's the question. How can you plant when you have no ground? When you have no rights to you. When society tells you, I'll give you a job, that's great. But it also takes away your rights to plant and be independent. I always think you should go somewhere and learn from a particular business or what you're interested in. But the question becomes, when do you have yours? And I see the minds that are kind of like scattered, scrambled eggs right now. Let me give you the reason why. The age of 48 to 70, that group is talking to me because they're struggling. They're being laid off. They're being downsized. The departments are being closed out. And they're right at the pinnacle of paying off the lump sum of what they owe. And they're trying to finish out their years so they can get their full pension, get their full 401k, and have benefits. Because now companies go with 20, 30, 30, 30, age, all that. They have three factors. And unless you qualify for all three factors, your benefits go down. The thing that I want to tell you right off the bat, I don't want to hear, entrepreneurship, because people kind of resist that, because that's kind of for working people who really want to do something. People just want something to automatically come in their hand. The Bible uses a term, it's more blessed to give than to receive. We have generations who are stuck on receiving because they don't want to do the work to generate the product. So the mass majority of people are consumers and not producers. Anybody know why? Do you know what the media plays on more than anything in your life? Spending, but before you will spend, they have to tap into something. Your emotions, but before they tap into your emotions, they have to tap into something else. All of y'all are good. See? That you getting hot. You know what they have to tap into before they can manipulate you and manipulate money out of your pocket? Come on. That's close. Your self-worth. The media taps into your self-worth because someone else has what you don't have. So it sends a message to you in your mind, in your confidence, in your space. You have lost your identity because you're trying to compete with someone who you're not even in their zone. You can speak, you can say anything. I say something, they're going to blast me. But you can say, no, I'm serious. The first thing, your lettuce is being taken because you feel like you have to spend to keep up. And so when you spend, now it comes into an image, how I look, and what I have among my friends. So when I say who's eating your lettuce, they are causing you to spend your money to make you feel like you have self-worth. So you never discover who you are. You're never patient to develop what your gifts are. Your gift could be sewing. Your gift could be knitting. Your gift can be alteration. Your gift can be jewelry. But the problem is you quit in the first quarter of developing your gift because you're looking at someone who's been doing something for 30 years, so you just quit. So now you go ride their donkey trying to get something when you could have built your own. Am I making sense? See, here's the problem. We're in love with everybody else, but we ain't in love with ourselves. So we take everybody else to validate us and wonder why we have all these crazy issues with people. It's because them crazy people don't need to be with your crazy behind because you crazy, they crazy. So now y'all have crazy little children, and now we got a crazy little society. Hello? And so then we attract people to our disaster. Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, that was a good one. I'm going to ask you a question. Which do you want? To look proper or to live your life to the fullest? I want you to think about it. Where you have total control of your present to build your future. The problem with most people, we're trying to go back to the junkyard and put hubcaps on a car and forgotten how it ran off the car. Is this making sense? They're fine. They're fine. That's life. That's life. I love the noise with children. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of things, and I see, my intellect people, they're starting, my God, because everybody tells you to go to a company and be there forever. You know why they ask you to be there forever? Because they don't ever plan for you to be there forever. Because you're going to set up generational wealth for them and their heirs and their children's children. And now your prime has been wasted trying to fulfill someone else's dream. This is why the age group from 48 to 60, and then they get real around 61, because when they get that notice from the Social Security company that you're going to get $721 a month, here's the problem. You don't own nothing, so you still renting. And rent keep going up every time you look around. It's like you almost just turn your head, your rent just went up $200. And so the people, let me help out. I'm just talking about really the people who have homes. My home is worth $335,000 now. Well, you need to look in October, because you're going to get an increase on your insurance, and you're going to get an increase on your taxes. The problem is your income hasn't gone up. So now this is going to hurt a little bit. The church teach you to beg to God. When God said that he told the earth to produce, how many people have something in the earth producing? And how many people take things from the earth to produce something to generate an income for them? Because what happens is your needs outweigh, your wants outweigh your needs. So you think you got to be in a place to validate self-worth. I want y'all to just take a break, because, we got 12 minutes together. I want y'all to just breathe. Because I didn't come to choke you. I came to awaken your mind. Somebody looked like, yeah, that's what you say, but it looked like we getting choked right now. I'm going to ask you to write this. One of the things that's missing out of your life is your dreams. I want you to dream something. What is it that you wanted to do as a little boy, as a little girl? What is it that you used to sit on Grandpa's knee and talk about? What did your mother tell you? Get a man, have a lot of babies. Scratch that. You're important. I want you to, as we talk about finances that you guys asked me, I can't talk about finances and plant something into you until you see who you are. And everybody in this room, results will not be the same. It's about you. I want you to dream something. And I don't want you to have your phone by the bed, because you got all them safety locks on your phone. I want you to have a pad, and I want you to write down, because your dreams will stay with you for the first 3 to 7 minutes when you awaken. And after that, they go away, and many times they don't come back. When you have a dream that has something to do with who you are, I want you to write. And when you begin to write, I want you to plan something. Get somewhere and get quiet and start putting a structure to your dream. This is what we call in the industry building infrastructure. And when you do that, your dreams are going to bring you back to the earth. So I want you then to know what you're going to plant in your life for you. I want you to learn this. Wearing, driving, clothing of anything else does not give you self-worth. Right? And I know I told you I'm going to give you the 3 L's. Here is where I want you to help you with your vision. Leave a heritage. You know what you've been through. You know what you suffered. You know how you've been rejected. Leave a heritage, which turns into a legacy. Watch this, not a bill. So I'm going to ask you a question. We have exactly about how much? 10 minutes together. Here's a question I'm going to ask you. Y'all okay? Okay, you wide awake today, boy. You look like you deep, like, man, you know. Yeah. I'm going to ask you a question. What's working for you other than you? That's a good answer. So then guess what happens? When you start, nobody should get in your way. Because you're starting with nothing. But you truly are starting with your dreams. Come on. You're starting with your present. Dream something, plan something, build infrastructure, and plant it. Here's what I want you to know. I want you to grow a little bit and realize that the ball is in your court. And how you know the ball is in your court is this question. Who's speaking for you? Is it your look? Is it your language? Or your knowledge and your substance? See, every banker that I've sat down with from Monday until today had a different vernacular. It's like when I talk to CPAs, I can write something down in my language, but it doesn't fit the CPA language, and neither does it fit the IRS language. So the CPA has to come back to me and say, oh yeah, you sold 100 books, The Mind of a Champion. Everybody clap. But here's the problem. That means nothing to me or the IRS. What did you pay for the books? How did you transport the books? How much did you pay for people to sell the book? What was your profit from the book? See, if someone just gives you a yes and a no, you take it but don't know what's behind it. You have to know how it's made in order to understand it. Does this make sense? Here's something I'm going to say, and this is going to sting a little bit. Many parents are reluctant to leave children something now. You know why? The generations after the baby boomers, their parents kind of took care of everything. So they didn't go through the hardship. The parents of today are great. You have wonderful kids. They're very, very smart. But how do they function in a society that's fighting to be at the top? So parents now, I've met with many of them. Some of them are establishing trust. Some of them are establishing wills. But I hear a common theme. Well, I'm not going to leave them anything. And I said, well, why not? And they said, because they don't appreciate what they have. And I share with them because you understand struggle. You understand racism. You understand poverty. Your children don't. Because they play with everything in the world that's diversified. You didn't grow up in segregation. So your values are not their values, and they think how you feel is old. They're not experiencing car payments, insurance payments, putting on tires. Well, you used to get a set of tires for $150, and now an average set of tires is $800. Yeah, there's a father over there laughing. Now a set of tires is an average of $800 to $1,500 just for you to ride. And those are not the good tires. So they don't have the same value because you just gave them the keys. Here. So I asked the parents, I said, would you do something different? And the average parent had one common denominator. They would have to earn it. We give them tablets. They can search the world. They think everything comes at the click of their finger. Nobody has patience anymore. You're right. I just got to argue. Even the kids, they know how to unlock your phone. Don't even know your passcode. Here it is. Mama, look at daddy pictures. Ah! Everybody running. Or nowadays it might be daddy. Look at mama pictures. Parents are reluctant. Many feel, and see, here's the thing. Here's the thing to all those generations. I do not envy you. Because you're in your moment now. My question is, how do you deal with your future and the challenges to be relevant in the future when you have no foundation? How do you operate without the gadgets? We rode bicycles. Now, just about everything I see is electronic. Even a skateboard. What's the new technology? Wake him up. What's the new technology that people surfing board? What's all this technology? You just get on, press a button, and you can just go down the street. Hoverboards. E-bikes. Come on. Nobody has to pedal anymore. Just start it. It'll take off from there. So they're taking away the ability to go through the process. So who's eating your lettuce? Which will tell you who is eating your present. And if they eat your present, how can you have a future? So what these generations have to learn is at some point you're going to have to answer to the present in order to deal with the future. Because now life becomes a chessboard. You must determine who has value on your chessboard. Who's the most powerful thing on the chessboard? Which one is the most powerful tool? Has the most flexibility? The who? The who? The queen? You mean the queen is better than the king? The queen has more flexibility than the king? And you wonder why it's the season of the woman. All the men got quiet, didn't it? If the queen on the chessboard has the greatest flexibility, my question is, and she's trying to protect the king, but if the king was smart, he'll follow the queen. Because she has the most flexibility on the board. So the question becomes, let's go to the L's real quick. Let's see where I got the L's. Lettuce means money for today. Cabbage means lineage. What's your investment? If your job were to release you today, what do you have to carry your responsibilities? And the first thing anybody tries to do, male or female, is to dilute your self-worth. So lettuce today is money. And so some of the, the influencers and all these people and, people pay all this money to go be with these people that have it. The problem is you're not watching the people who have it long term. Can I give you an example? On Tuesday, when I went to the bank, I noticed there was one tailor on the end, and there was this old dude. His toenails needed to be clipped. His flip-flops looked like they were out the 70s, and he had a large bag. I mean, the bag was about, I would say, 1.5 feet deep, and it was full of deposits, and he had sheets laid out. So he started pulling out all of his deposits in this. And so everybody else over here were just waiting, and, everybody, of course, was watching him. So he looked over at me, and he said, "How you doing?" I said, "How you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm doing good." I said, "Look like you are." He said, "Oh, this is just my monthly rent." I said, "Sir, what all those deposits?" He said, "Yeah, it's about 65 deposits." checks, and 10 rolls of cash. I said, if you don't mind, how old are you? He said, young man, he had his hearing aid on. He said, young man, I'm 86 years old. I said, well, why are you coming to the bank? He said, because my old children would be done stole half my money. He said, then it wouldn't get here on time. He said, I tried to use my grandchildren, but they were doing what their parents were doing. He said, so I come to the bank every first of the month. I said, well, sir, you got to have a. He said, oh, I've got about 5,000 rental properties. I said, whew. And it hit me because most of the people I had talked to the last 2 weeks was trying to figure out how they was going to pay their rent. And so I said, sir, help me out. I said, how did you get started? I said, because you, not to be offending, don't look like a scholar. He said, no, boy, I ain't smart. I ain't get past nothing but 3rd grade. He said, boy, I knew something. If I wasn't that smart, I need to play like I am. I said, what you do? He said, I bought some land. He said, I didn't start out with much, and I put a trailer on it. Then when I found out people needed to rent their trailer, I created an RV place. I don't even know how to spell RV, sir, boy. He said, but I got an RV place. And he said, then when I got an RV place, I bought all the regular houses I could. I'd buy your grandma's house because they're going to pay the bill. Then I rent that house out to somebody. Then I turn around and buy all the houses in the community, tear it down, get a developer, come back and build it. He said, he said, I don't like taking checks because money talks and walks. I said, sir, I admire you. He said, yeah. He said, I can't trust my children. And when he pulled it out, I thought, you know, when they talking about make it rain, I said, now he's going to make it rain. We all would be there. Hey, you know, get some cha-chas, do something. 86 years old. So it said to me, when you don't build your own, when you get older, what are you going to do when they let you go? Think. Women, you chasing behind a man who don't even have a mule to plow his field. Come on. Am I right? Now, I was offended because out of these 4 L's, there was not love. So I said, Lord, there going to be some people rolling their eyes because I didn't put love. I said 4 important L's. Lettuce is for today. So you may meet a woman or a man who has money today. The thing you have to think is, can they handle my responsibilities and support my dreams? This real talk to real people. Am I making sense? If they don't have no cabbage, that means if I get sick, I'm going to be sick and worried if we're going to be able to be here. Because I've seen a whole lot of people moving in the last 2 weeks. They either got to get out or been put out. I've seen furniture thrown all over Greenville. Evicted. That means it didn't happen on Monday. This means this happened 3-4 months. Cabbage is, and so what I learned by dealing with the bankers and attorneys and trust people was, if you're going to have sustainable wealth down the road, you're going to have to learn another language. Because you can walk in there with a pocket full of money. But I had some friends of mine, and they don't go to church. And they said, man, you know what those stupid did? I said, what happened, man? Man, you know, they had done some stuff they had no business and went down there and tried to pay $35,000 for a brand new Lexus and gave them people cash. I said, what? They said, yeah, man. I said, what happened? He said, they got arrested before they got out the door. I said, so the car dealership didn't want the money? They wanted the money. But the police was going to ask them where they get the money from. And so that didn't go well. Cabbage is reserves that can hold you until you get back to planning. So while you're working, you got to be dreaming about what's your next. Because lettuce, what's the life cycle? Come on, Brainiacs. What's the life cycle of a head of lettuce? It don't last that long. 3 days? Because my mother, and the reason I say this is my mother gave me some seeds and I planted her something, and so the cucumbers was looking good, and I'm in the middle of fighting the bugs trying to make sure the cucumbers look good, and so I clipped them on Monday. because I was going to try to give them to them. And on Wednesday, today, I saw that they had got a little soft. So you shouldn't cut until you're fully ripe on the vine. That hit home, didn't it? Say that to me in Latin. How did he hear me? Hear me in the liver? Hear me? Hear me? See, sometimes you jump ship too quick. I cut that cucumber too quick. Sometimes you move too quick. You get hooked up to people too quick. You quit on yourself too quick. And then you let other people talk down to you who don't have what you have. If you don't have nothing but a skateboard, you'll be proud of your skateboard. I thought you had a car with AC. How you gonna talk and you walking? How your business doing? My business is doing great. Because I'm not thinking about today. I am planting for the future. Am I making sense? Because I ain't seen no ugly people with money. If you got money, everybody cute. Your head can be way over here. You like, girl, he got cabbage. Girl, he got that big old head. He ain't got no hair. One of my friends was talking, and the man told us that I could cut your face off and never touch your hair. And I said, man, if you got money, that's somebody that'll rub all that head. Oh, baby, your head is good. Because they know what it is to fool with people that don't have nothing. You got $5 for gas? No! Am I making sense? Because the first thing the adversary want to steal from you is your self-worth. Then he can manipulate you from there. So lettuce, I'm not impressed with people who got front pocket money. You know the impressed, well, I got a job. So what? Say it again. Here today. Come on, let's say it real conscious. Here today. Girl, he look good today. He got a car like the ring got on car. Girl, ooh, make me liver quiver, you know. Make my liver quiver. Ooh. Oh God. I heard when the music when him come by the neighborhood and it go boo. That look they're gonna leave right. Oh! You wonder why your mama pull your ponytail and tell you to sit yourself down somewhere. Because you're trying to buy love. Let people fall in love with your spirit. Let me say this plain. This ain't church today. Anybody can love your boom boom. Yes, I said it. A blind man. Woo-cha, woo-hoo. Look at Ray Charles. Ray Charles, like, bring over here. Oh! Am I making sense? I'm up here sweating. I may as well finish this. You got that. Don't fool with nobody that just got lettuce. Do I know? If the bugs don't get it, I've been fighting the bugs. I got bit by a spider trying to spray my mama lettuce. I stumped that spider good. Sorry, people that like animals. But he bit me. So he started the fight. I ended it. And he's one of them little black jumping spiders. I said, oh, no. Because I felt something on my leg. I looked down. I was like, oh, no, I ain't that dog. I stumped him. And that's probably what made me cut my mama cucumbers too early. Lettuce. Don't fool with people that's got lettuce. Because that's front money pocket. That's front money pocket. They look good today, but ask God to give you some spiritual insight. Tell me, where you going to be in 5 years? Oh, no, just not with him. No, Lord. Lineage cabbage. If you don't have nothing saved up, you don't believe in yourself. I don't care if it ain't but $5. I'm so proud. I had somebody that finally, they were listening. They got the book, Basic Financial Steps, and now they're on their way to home ownership. Yes, but nobody starts out at the top. Am I making sense? And if they stay at the top, they take it from people at the bottom. Yes, it has value. And you learn to quit making stupid decisions. Everybody else got one. I don't care what they got. I'm wearing these old clothes. I have granddaughters. They be threatening to throw my shoes away. I said, they must be getting bad if they looking at my feet. They trying to throw them away. I want you to consider. Anybody have any questions? Because we're getting ready to go. We're gonna do that one later because I'm gonna have to have some biblical scriptures for that one. You have a question? Okay. Well, see now you're gonna make me go to number 3. Okay. Yeah. Now. Can I tell you how you lost yourself? Because you didn't understand who God was in your life. See, the way church has preached to us is that we come to church for blessings and when people die and for old people. See, your generations were not taught about relationships. My generation and generation behind me was taught to serve God out of survival and struggle. Your generation should serve God out of relationship. See, because what they're taking advantage of is a light that you don't see in yourself. They see your flesh. They don't see your future. So what they do is they come to cloud who you really are. Because if you woke up to yourself, you wouldn't be with any of them. So what the adversary does, and it goes in the Bible this way, because number 3 is the life with God. Can I work with you here just for a minute? Okay. You picked because that's what you wanted. You didn't pick because it was assigned to your future. Because you have to stay before God. Yeah. And see, can I make it plain? See, religion teaches us to practice. The Bible teaches us to love and have relationship. So you should be talking to God more than you social media, texting anybody and telling God, I make stupid mistakes. Help me. Always ask God for the spirit of discernment. So then I don't have to learn. I can see it. And in my spiritual sight, I know it's not good for me. Can I make it plain? Where you come from and where I come from, they had outhouses. You didn't have to go to the outhouse to know it smelled like an outhouse. That's insight. So ask God to give you, just like your vehicle, it has electronic sensors. So when you're too close to a car, it'll say brake or slow down. When you're too close to a wall, it'll start beeping. Anybody got cars like that? They got all of that from God. So when somebody is coming in your life and telling you everything that you want to hear, they there to steal from you. You want people to come help build for you. What's your dream? Well, I ain't got no dreams. I just want to be with you. You better let that one catch the bus. Okay? So you need to ask God, because God didn't put you here. Because he said in the word, it's not good for man to be alone. So you have to position yourself to be a wife looking for a husband, not a man riding the bus. Because see, motherly instincts will kick in a woman and she will pacify a man. Now y'all ask for this. And she will carry a man and hope she got a man. When she wake up, she just picked up somebody else's trash. Now her heart broke. Now when somebody really come along and care about her, they got to go through everything. Leroy, Skillet, SA, all them done to you. They got to, so you got to empty all that. You got to protect yourself. You're special in the eyes of God. You just can't, you ain't for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care where you come from. I don't care who your mama was. I don't care who your daddy was. And I don't care if your daddy was there. Sometimes a good daddy ain't a good daddy. You got to see yourself through the eyes of God. And see, so let me talk to you real quick. People, I'm lonely. You're supposed to be. So when you get with somebody, you won't be acting crazy like you was the last time. How you have a fit over grits and eggs? You see what I'm saying? So it's like a car. It's like a sensor. I hate mine. I be going in the curve. I'm like, I'm going to go in this curve. You're like, brake, brake, brake. I be like, A life with Christ. And a life with Christ is not a moment. It's a relationship. So then God will help you spiritually choose who matches up with your spirit. Let me be real plain. Y'all men can get mad at me because I know on certain sections I got 70-some position of men, but y'all can get mad at me all day because the truth ain't going to change and it don't need a witness. If it won't come to church, it can't grow with you. You trying to heal, and every time you go back home, it breaks you. Now, I didn't say any church. You got to go to a church where you get the truth. Am I making... What? You feel like I'm throwing nice? Well, let me tell you something, boo-boo. Then you came to the right place. Because look here, God didn't call me to tell lies because he'd have killed me a long time ago. Because I just can't, not when it comes to people. Now, we get outside and it's $1 on the ground. I might say it's mine, you know. But when I come in here, I got to tell the truth. And let me tell you why. The Bible says it's better for a millstone to be cast about your neck than to misinform. I can't tell you to put up with bad people. And it doesn't matter if he or she is bad. Will they get up and turn the corner? And don't let people practice on you. Don't let people, because most of the time I have seen good people, men and women, take a good man and run him down, and a good woman and run her down. And then as soon as you done sacrifice and work 3-4 jobs, and they done went and got their trucking license, and now they don't want you. They think they too good for you. You done help them get an education. And let me be real, don't have babies by all these people. Because sometimes they give you babies to stay in your life. When they didn't plan to stay in your life, they just want to ruin your life. You get no cookie? No, they ask for finances. Finances have to do with real life. You don't deserve this. This is reserved, let me use your term, this is reserved for a king, not a soldier. Because y'all know the rapper that said, I'm a soldier. You know the first part of it? Okay. This ain't soldier material. You don't come home from the war and beat me up. You cherish me. I'm not your kickstand. So a life with Christ means a relationship. And ask me the importance of it. God built you to build legacy. Your children should not have to see and hear fussing in the house. Where daddy at? I don't know where he at. I don't care if he don't come back. Where mama at? I don't know where she at. This is why unhappy people ride around and don't go home. Come on, baby, y'all fine. Y'all my kids. I done overran my time. But y'all come on. But am I making sense? I've seen people just riding around just in the car, just looking at social media because they don't want to go home, because when they go home they got to deal with issues. So then you can hold your feelings so close that you're internally bleeding and spiritual bleeding. And then here's what the enemy tells you: don't go to church. Especially to that little bald head man, because he be talking about people. I am a spiritual surgeon. If you can take it, you can heal. And when you heal, you won't have to come back. Oh, you hear what I'm saying? You won't have to come back to that pain. You just come on and move, and you go get the other brother and other sister and say, come on, don't you want to live? Don't you want? And it's okay. I cry all the time. I cry all the time. And sometimes it's not tears of pain. It's just tears of relieving stress. It's a cleansing. It's healthy. So a life with Christ means when I give my life, and this is the whole purpose, and let me say this. This is the whole purpose of water baptism. This is water baptism. Because now you have an internal insurance policy. You have a lock on your soul that when you need help, you got a God to go to. You're not suspect. You have been born of the water. He told Nicodemus was a highly educated man. See, some people want to just rush you to the pool, but then they don't prepare you for life. Because the first thing you're going to do is when you come to God, he give you some things. But everything he give you, he's not going to let you keep because you got to go to the wilderness. So now you know how to make better choices. But what happens in that move is you tell God, I'm not leaving because you're the best thing that ever happened to me because you're going to be my antivirus. You're going to be spiritually watching over me. You're not going to let me get caught up with people that's still attached to me and yet they have ruined my life. Am I making sense? Lord, I believe in you. And yes, I got it wrong, but you're a God that forgives. So he picks you up when others let you down. And so then when you start to find yourself in God, you got to be wary that the enemy is going to come along with good things. So you have to ask God how to rightly divide. So I know what to take and know what to leave. Because my spirit is valuable because it belongs to my God. So I am God's child over man's child. I'm not here to be run over. And God will make you a warrior. You know why? He says, no weapon formed against you. God will make the enemy give you his stuff so you can make it. So God, when you come to Christ and you become newborn and they call it the new birth, now you get to see who's really your friend or who really just in your life to take what they can get. But God puts an expectation. So when you do that, come on up here, cutie. Bring your little tambourine. I'm going to put you on my knee. Come on. Yeah, come on. Because you know you my little. This is my. Come on. That don't look like. She look like. I got to go see. Bring your tambourine. Get your tambourine. Here is what I want you to realize. Come on up here. I'm going to put you on my knee. If I can get you up. I'm old now, baby. Things ain't like they used to be. You see her as she plays this? Do you even have the time to know if God has given her a musical gift? Because the enemy always clouds you. And God will say, I love you. You have to show them what their gifts are. Your parents didn't get a chance to show you because people was oppressing them. People will oppress you so you can't pay attention to who you are. Because when you learn who you are and you learn your value, they fear you. You don't know she could write music, Latin music, American music, culture music, but if you don't have the time to give her that space to grow. Does that make sense? Because we're always in a bucket of slush and, and trying to make somebody be something they not. They either got to be it or they don't. Because when it says number 4, and I'll give them to you again, lettuce, that's money for the day. If you got cabbage, you get to build lineage. What's her rights as a human being than a child before God? She wasn't just born out of love. She's got purpose. But before she can really find her purpose, you got to find your purpose. Because when you find your purpose, you'll find your destiny, and now you'll have time to pour into her. Does this make sense? So we wonder, oh, well, they just grow up. No. You are assigned to her future. Does this make sense? I was sitting at the bank yesterday, and they was talking to me about some business, and they was like, well, you're doing pretty well, Mr. Campbell. I said, no, this ain't about me. I'm working now for my grandchildren's grandchildren. They don't even have to put my picture on the wall. But one day they're going to say, how did we get here? There's somebody that took the time to get before God and made a sacrifice. Because I don't measure myself by the color of my skin. I measure myself by the faith in my God. I don't measure myself by my worth that society say I have. Because one good rain and one good hurricane can take all that away. But my faith in God, I won't let you shake it. Because I know what it's like to be without God. That's why I wanted to get to life with God, because when you get God, he gives you an internal faith that, honey, they can set you on fire, but you will bounce back. They can criticize you. And see, everything don't want your God, don't want you. Up. See, I can talk to men, because see, first of all, man, you got to be aligned with God. Men always talking about, in a sense that, a wife need to be subjected to a husband and all that, but nobody tells him he need to be subjected to God. And if he's not in front of God, why are you behind him? He has no shield, so how can he protect you? See, I come from a lineage of men that'll get up and work when there's snow on the ground and the wife and the kids at the house. You out there working like a pet mule. Yeah. You happy? You good? Just as quiet as you been. I'm going to have you sit with me more often. She like, I'm ready to go. Am I making sense? That's the whole intent, because God patches the holes that we try to get people to feel. Am I making sense? God patches those holes. So now God knows you're human. That's why he made man and woman. But you want the right companion. Who in here need another donkey in their life? Who in here need another bad decision in their life? The 4 L's. I told him, and I said, man, I'm going to get in trouble because the love is not in there. It's lettuce for the day. Lineage. You said what now? 3. Oh, the 4th one is legacy. That's when I was talking about her. See, she will not have it if you don't do you. And see, here's the problem. Don't criticize what God gave you. I don't care if it's making flowers. Make flowers for the world. I don't care if it's making pots. Make pots for the world. Get you an online store. And don't expect to be successful. Success in the beginning is the worst thing that can happen to you. Because then it kills your creativity and you lose the ability to invent. As it is challenging, it's okay to look at other people's work to get creative ideas for your work. The reason people fear you is because if you knew who you were, you wouldn't fool with them. Get your lettuce right.